Get a load of this guy.
Take my shoes and walk a mile, something that you can't do.
What is good, YouTube? It is your boy Benji, and I'm with my boy
Ky. What's going on?
It's another episode of The Crew. Got the crew with me. We're trying to get into it, trying to figure out everybody's schedule, keep it more consistent. We're going to be coming to audio and streaming platforms pretty soon, but, get into it, man. What's life been like for you, KY?
Man, just working, man. Trying to get this training thing off the ground,
Oh, yeah. Boy, if you need workouts, my boy right here, it will get you right, bro. He'll get you in the lab for sure. Actually, I need to go check him out for a workout whenever I get my schedule opened up a little bit more. But I've been really picking up, speaking of, like, really been back in the AM grind, like, when it comes to, like, working out.
Yeah.
Pretty much every day I've been hitting my, like, 6:30, 7 o'clock, which, I mean, brings it back to the college days when I was working out like that, and I can't believe I've ever stopped. But, like, that's, for me, I know it's the way to go.
Yeah.
I love, getting the endorphins going and
That's
getting
what I
the
was
day
about to say,
started
yeah.
all better.
It sets you up for success for the day, for real. Because once you get that workout out the way, your day's complete, honestly.
So definitely I've been doing
Cruising.
that in a little bit. Been adjusting the programs and everything I've been doing.
Yeah.
But definitely I think my biggest problem was, like, my eating habits.
Same.
So I've locked in on that. I mean, I've been doing a lot better with consistency in regards to, like, the amount I'm meal prepping and sticking to the routine of what I'm meal prepping and getting in my, like, protein throughout the day and eating my vitamins. So I could say that's been my biggest change for sure.
Yeah.
Consistency is the problem there.
Yeah, same for me. And I just got to eat, like, more frequently.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's
Yeah.
why I miss out a lot.
Yeah.
Whenever I eat a lot, but I just don't eat as frequently as I should.
You kind of just let everything sit on you. And I was doing that for, like, life. So I've been trying to build some consistency with that over the last few weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what else is funny? I've been here. I feel like we at that age, and I feel like I don't even want to say at that age, but I mean it just happens. I think once you get past 18,
Yeah.
is that everybody asks me now, and I think a lot of people now just assume that a lot of people have asked me, like, particularly if I mean, like, customers, older people, they're like, oh, like, how many kids you got, or
Yeah.
like, you know
Got
what I mean?
kids,
I'm like,
yeah.
yo, I don't even have no wife, bro.
Yeah.
But I was literally talking to my mom about that the other day, where it's like, she was like, yo, what you doing? I was talking about my husband about that too. He was,
Yeah.
like, really on me, like, deep the other day about that. And I was like, yo, when I get a wife, things will be a little bit different. But I think it also led me down a path where I think I was doing a little bit more introspective of a dive, where I was like, I think I just, and I was telling one of my other friends about this, but I think everything kind of compounded upon itself because I lost my phone,
Yeah.
and then, like, I got my phone back and I had, like, so many contacts gone. I think that really just made me really, like, bruh, I was wasting my time
Yeah.
because I had, like, a lot of people that you texting or whatever, and I was like, but this is, like, once I didn't have, like, I didn't feel like I had to, like, text somebody, like, it didn't feel like I was having to clock in and, like, let me chat. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, dang, maybe a lot of these relationships weren't, like necessarily serving me in any favor. So I just
Just
was
doing
like,
it out of vanity, for real.
but I think that's what it is too. Like, partially, like, yeah, I wasn't getting anything out of maybe the people, but I also think, like, maybe mentally I just not in that space.
Yeah.
So I think that's something I just realized too, and I can't, like, be like, oh, I'm not gonna be one of the people that's like, oh, the dating pool is full of trash and all the women are, because I just realized, like, bro, even if I was to run into my wife right now, would I be receptive of that? And I think it would still take some, like, maybe some lashes to get me
Yeah.
there. But yeah, I
can
mean,
dig that.
I think it was just, like, I realized there's a lot more things that I think came first.
Yeah.
Right now, like, I'm really trying to figure out the whole career and, like, hobbies, and then also, like, whether or not I'm gonna live in the same place or move. So I think I've been trying to really grasp the scope of it all, and I think I was like listening to, like, I think a book, like, the other day, and it was talking about, like, the journey of a man. I think it was like there's so many things that as, like, a man you got to get together, and I think that journey is just so different. I don't think that's not necessarily to say you have to, but if you want to better yourself, there's certain things that you just gotta get together and get in play. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, it's some of the things, like I was just looking at, you know, like financial habits and like you said, little things like getting in the gym more and your eating habits, your spending habits, the things you do on a day-to-day, your mental, your spirituality, all that stuff. I think is stuff that I would say I would want to be in a better place. I'm not saying I got to be perfect because obviously I would never end up with a girl or never be looking for a girl. But I think it was definitely a place where I want to be more streamlined. I think those things were superseding anything I would even look for in a relationship right now.
I was just about to touch on that point because I was like, in the opposite end, I think a lot of people will shoot themselves in the foot and feel like they have to be perfect just to like be deserving of love or, you know what I'm saying, whatever have you. And it's like, well, somebody really loves you, they gonna accept you where you at or meet you where you at. And for me, y'all gonna build together, essentially. It's somebody that's really like for you is gonna help you rise to that level anyhow. Y'all gonna complement each other.
Yeah.
So like it's important not to be remiss in the same fact and like keep your eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? Keep your eyes open.
Right.
Because if you don't have your eyes open, you're never gonna see your blessing. For real.
Right. And that's what I was gonna say too. I think a lot of that stuff is you can't, like, you have no bearing on control. Like obviously you would, like you said, you would love to just let me get my life together, and then when I feel like I'm together, now let me jump out in the game.
Exactly.
Because like you said, you don't know what you might miss along that. So I think it's just really just point my head in the right direction. Yeah. And like, you know, you heading down the path, you might see, oh dang, it's like you drive down the highway and you see, oh, that's a good little restaurant I want to stop at. So I think, but you still have a journey that you're heading in. And I think that's more so what I focused on, instead of like, let me stop the whole ride, let me stop the whole joint, and let me go look for a restaurant. Let me drive, and if I see something along the way, work on it. So I think that's been my biggest thing, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's where a lot of the growth is coming from. I mean, obviously we're talking about like little things we've been looking at. I know, like I said, I've been doing more like deep dives into like religion, politics. It's just it's like self-growth as a whole, like fitness and a bunch of different things I'm just looking to learn. I've been definitely listening to a lot more audiobooks, trying to get the languages down pat too. So I've been brushing back up on that, like Spanish and Yoruba. Yeah. Gotten a lot better with my Pidgin. So now Uncle requires me to speak to him in Pidgin. So it's pretty smooth at this point. So shout out to all my Niger people. But yeah, I think that's just picking up more hobbies, more things to do, more things to, I think, just kind of keep the brain stimulated. It's been my thing. Yeah. Long story short.
Been in my blue collar bag lately too. Trying to like get back to a point where I can like build a lot more things and do a lot more things myself. Like doing my oil change, a lot of my car work, and just a lot of stuff myself. Cause I think we can get carried away just within like living in this time of convenience, where we feel like we do have to pay for everything when it's like we don't. You know what I'm saying? Like as a consumer, that's where people is really beating us up at right now, is because we feel like we have to pay for everything, or they're making us feel like we have to pay for everything. When a lot of this stuff is actually very simple. Like some of this stuff that be so simple, like just making food. Like we talked about eating earlier. I be wasting a whole bunch of money on food a lot of the times, eating out, when I know it takes me like half a fraction of the cost to cook the same meal or whatever for multiple days. You know what I'm saying? So that whole like argument where people be like, "Oh, it's expensive to buy groceries." I was like, it's really not. In comparison to buying a meal, you know what I'm saying? You're not buying a meal from pretty much anywhere that's not fast food for any less than like $20.
No, yeah, I was going to say, and I think we even at that point now where like all that stuff, the 4 for $4, the $5 footlongs, all that stuff is gone, man. So like you said, I mean, a byproduct of the economy that we're in is that you're going to have to spend money on food, so you might as well at least try to do a little bit of controlling of what you're putting into your body, but additionally how your portions and the quality of the food that you're eating too. So I think that's important. And even double down on that. Yeah, I would say that's another thing I've been working on too. Trying to simplify my life. Yeah. Like just like getting back, I think, to the root of, bro, like I think it was cool, like being able to try and do a lot of cool things, like, cars and clothes. I think I just realized at a certain point, I was like, it was cool. I mean, it all made a little bit of sense because I, was working maybe a deal, or you can find a way in the midst of consumerism to make things make sense. But I was like, man, let me just get back to simplicity. I think a lot of that had to do, definitely the car stuff had a lot to do with, I know I told myself I was like, if somebody ever hits my car, it's over. So I think I've been in like, good thing is I'm all good, but in like all my cars have gotten hit. So I'm like, bro, whether I was in them, not in them, it's just like, it's a car, transportation. It's a transportation, bro.
Yeah.
So like all that, and I think also being in that industry too, just kind of seeing, it's just like, that Toyota is gonna do the same thing that Rolls Royce gonna do. End of the day, it's just all about who you trying to floss to. So I think that's something that I've really been leaning into too, is just keeping things a lot more simple, like not worrying about all the clothes. And I will say that's one thing I will say I'm pretty happy to at least been in some sense grounded in, is I don't feel like I have to do things to make other people's or to make anybody else's day or to make myself feel better in myself. It's just not.
That's another thing I be trying to like put a lot of importance on, is just make sure I be living my life actually for me.
Not
like actually doing what I want to do.
Not to.
Because I think we get like lost in the, just because, we got social media and we got all these different things that we see all the time, makes us feel like we have to have a certain idea or a certain aesthetic of life or quality of life. And it's like, you can just do it how you want to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
Like whatever makes you happy, for real.
Facts. And with that being said, I'm going to transition into sports, man. Obviously, NBA season is here. And one of the biggest things that people are talking about is the NBA getting boring? Because there has been big-time drops in terms of viewership from a lot of the major channels, sites, and, of course, streaming companies. Is the NBA getting boring? Is the product bad? What do you think? Some of the reasons behind why the product is not getting so many views.
I mean, I really haven't. I guess I could see the viewership dropping, but I feel like that can easily be fixed. I think some of that has to do with timeliness of a lot of the games, as well as just like promotion and marketing. And then I ain't gonna lie, I think a lot of it is just a lot of people just don't be having time to catch a lot of the games. So again, like it's just timeliness. Like a lot of the games be OD late. Like nobody is coming off of a 8-10 hour shift trying to come home and wait 4 hours to watch the game. Like, it's just not. Nobody's gonna do that. And then you have people making the full game highlights now. So I think a lot of people are just catching on the back end. Or it's just, I don't know. But I feel like the talent pool right now is crazy. Like, especially they just did the little cup that they did for the NBA.
Oh, yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. I feel like we're seeing some of the best hoops we've seen in a while. I ain't gonna lie. Like, it's very competitive hoops right now. A lot of players are primarily healthy. Some of them are out, but I don't know. I feel like the talent pool is crazy. We're seeing crazy hoops right now. Everybody's busting out all the seams right now.
No, yeah. I mean, I got a couple things I got to say about that. I think a lot of it is the product in itself. Like, I think, one, we've become inundated with so many teams. There's 30 teams in the NBA. They got 82 games.
Yeah.
What's the point of me watching game 1 or game 2 when I know they got 80 more of them? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I will say the
and then the playoffs, like
I'm saying,
so it's OD long. I'm not gonna lie, and you have to think like you said, bro. People's attention span is not that long, and it's 82 games. Like I will catch the next one.
I'm not worried about it right now. This has no bearing on, like I said, what it is. Am I gonna watch? With all due respect, am I gonna watch the Pistons and the Wizards? Nah. If I'm not a fan of either team, probably not.
Yeah.
If I'm a casual fan, I'm gonna wait for when LeBron plays Steph Curry. That's it. So I think a lot of those games have lost meaning, but I do at least find it that it was a little bit of a smarter idea that the NBA did introduce like Commissioner's Cup or whatever the case may be, the in-season tournament, so that some of those early games where the fans fade in and out at least provides a little bit of meaning for the guys to play.
Yeah.
And play for something. Because I mean, even if you look at it, like most people now are like, we don't even want to watch the All-Star game, don't really care about the dunk contest anymore. So I think the 3-point contest is highly overshadowed the dunk contest at this point in terms of All-Star weekend. So realistically, after you watch maybe the opening night where they schedule some of the biggest names, you really don't have to tune back in until the end of the season or realistically the playoffs.
I was about to say, like, All-Star break used to be like that big point where they can capitalize on everything. And now it's like nobody's turning in for the dunk contest, like you said. All-Star game is iffy. People are just waiting for the competitiveness to kind of jump up after All-Star break. That's really it.
And that brings me to my next point, is that similar to how we've seen the fall off of the people that are really foaming at the mouths in order to watch the All-Star game, I think a lot of that has come down to the game style and the how they play the game. Similarly, we've seen that trickle into the regular season. I mean, with all due respect, I know there's a lot of bad teams in the NBA, but like we're watching these dudes score 140, 150 a night in like regular season games. I start to lose, I think, interest in the game when, yes, obviously there's a lot of rules that they've put in place in order to open up the game and allow for more entertainment value. So we're not watching people just shoot free throws all night and just jump hooks. But, I mean, I think right now, I think they said the average right now in the NBA is like in the mid-30s of how many three-pointers that teams are attempting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got people that do not need to be shooting three-pointers, shooting 4 or 5 three-pointers a night. It's like, bruh, like they shooting step-back threes on a fast break instead of getting to the cup, trying to finish, trying to draw a foul. So I think a lot of that, I think you couple that with like the competitiveness of it, because since you shoot more threes, you open the court up. You open the court up, you see a lot less help defense, you see a lot less strategy, and then you see a lot more bad shot taking. So I think a lot of that, I think, has contributed to possibly the fans that are the true lovers of the game maybe checking out. I mean, you got all the old heads that say, man, I don't like that basketball they play today, because maybe of that. I mean, there's a lot less strategizing. There's a lot less, like you said, maybe dump it down low, kick, swing. Like it's isolate, sidestep, three, clank, and back and forth. You know what I mean? All due respect, I mean, there's been multiple dudes this week that dropped 40 and 50 and 60.
Yeah.
So, like, at a certain point, if we see that all the time, it waters it down as well.
Did the Warriors and LeBron ruin basketball as we know it?
Low-key, I think Stephen Curry did create a bunch of people. Because if you look at it, like, Stephen Curry's heyday, where they really, in particular the Warriors, when they tipped the scales and everything, was like 2015, 2016, 2017, when they were going back and forth with LeBron. Yeah. And so now if you look at it, bro, half of them people, bro, that's almost 10 years, bro. Half of them people now are grown-ups.
Yeah.
And they're in the NBA now.
That's facts.
So, I mean, you got Wembanyama, who was probably watching LeBron and them, and now he's like 7'10", and he's getting up 8 threes a night. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we are seeing, I think, the byproduct of not only Curry, but like you said, the LeBrons. Because you got plenty of these dudes that were just uber athletic that now, instead of before they used to dunk on the whole squad, now they student sidestep threes.
Yeah.
Like, so I mean, you got a lot of that going on now. I mean the two number 1 draft picks, the number 1 and number 2 draft pick, Sarr and Ricochet, I mean, those dudes now sitting on the wing. Alex Sarr is like near 7-footer.
Yeah.
And he's playing a lot on the perimeter this season, similar. Ricochet, same thing, like 6'9".
I do get that. Like now it's gotten to the point where we have footers. I think this is actually crazy. Mm-hmm. We gotten to the point where, you know, we have footers and genuine like giants coming into the league, and we're like, when they play into the post and they have post game, it comes as like somewhat of a surprise.
No, yeah.
And it's like, you're 7 feet, you're supposed to be in there. Like,
get down low.
I think like Wemby, I think he's a great example. Like, he doesn't have a bad inside game, to be honest, but you can tell that his game is primarily like perimeter based, and he's off the dribble. Like, he's moving, he's mobile. Imagine if he just like went inside and just like dunked, let's say 10 more times a game. Like, but he's a walking like 35 piece a night.
Yeah.
Like, look at Giannis. I mean, people would be mad at him for running and dunking, but he's 7 feet. That's what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what you have those God-given abilities for. You're supposed to, use them, and then you build upon it. But I feel like a lot of people are just, I don't know. We don't have enough people acting like they're 7 feet or they're 250 or they're, whatever they are. Everybody just wants to be a shooter.
Everyone wants to do that.
And I think, like you said, that's, again, byproduct of the NBA kind of like pushing this particular archetype. Like, oh, if you 7 foot, well, then you need to be KD, because that's what he's doing.
We saw it for year in and year out that everybody at the number 1 position or top couple positions in their high school class was being touted as the next KD.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw it as early as, who was that? 14 class. I mean, we saw. I mean, guys that are in the league now. Porter, they were talking about, oh, he might be the next KD. Tatum, they were talking about, he might be the next KD. Ingram, they're talking about, he might be the next KD. So they got so many dudes now that are being championed for being so tall and versatile on the perimeter end. Awesome. But now you have so many guys now where you're looking for a Wembayama build. So like the KD on steroids where you're just tall and can shoot. KD's a different type of player.
Yeah.
Like you put him up against a lot of these dudes. Even like Chet, they were talking about possibly being the next KD. It's like, bro, like we ain't got no Shaqs. Like what's going on, man?
That's like, I think it's so crazy. Like there's no Hakeems, no Shaqs, there's no centers, and it kind of just, I kind of want to segue it to the point where it's like we genuinely do have positionless basketball now. Mm-hmm. Like the guards do not play like guards. I don't even know what the difference between a point guard and a shooting guard is at this point. Like they both do the same thing essentially. Small forwards and power forwards don't really exist. And center, that's not even a position. That's just whoever wants to guard the tallest dude on the court.
No, facts. I don't know where the game is headed in that regard.
Yeah.
And I think the second thing is really just when you ingratiate the fans in it, most people can't afford it.
Yeah.
Like, just realistically, you can't afford to go to the game and you can't afford to watch it.
Yeah.
I mean, League Pass is nice. I had it last season, so I was able to catch a lot of games. But and I mean, I get it. There's 82 games, multiple teams, but most of the teams and most of the games you want to catch, you can't catch on League Pass.
Yeah.
You got to get a subscription to another site to get a subscription to this. Like, I mean, saying you got to get a Disney Plus subscription and then add a ESPN package. And like, you got to do all this stuff just to catch half of the games.
Yeah.
Which most of the primetime games are going to be on ABC, TNT. And so you really can't catch most of them, even on League Pass.
I ain't gonna lie. That's where the NBA be shooting themselves in the foot too. Like NFL, if you don't got cable, if you don't got streaming service, it don't matter what you have, you can catch the game.
Yeah,
you can tune in on Sunday and catch the game, no matter what you got, and you can probably catch one during the week.
Yeah.
NBA, bro, it doesn't matter if it's not Christmas. You literally cannot catch a game. Like, I don't know why they do that. That's probably a big reason to blame for their viewership because they're not on any primetime channels.
A lot of money chasing, a lot of trying to spread the streaming wealth out, and we're doing that. You outsource a lot of your product. I mean, even similarly to even if you look at the WNBA, I think similarly, I mean, most of the games that you wanted to watch, you couldn't catch on the League Pass.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think the NBA in terms of marketing that, I mean, I get it. There's a bunch of companies that want to eat, but I mean, at the end of the day, you outsource your product to the point where you're not going to get people going to watch it on TV. And if I got to go through all this just to catch it, I can go watch it for free. Like you said, go watch a few minute recap.
Yeah.
Online.
That I ain't gonna lie. That's like, shout out to Flight Reacts. He put me on that. But like, that's what I started doing. Cause I was getting off of work. I used to work late shift anyways. I was like, there's no way I'm gonna be able to catch the game if it's not on at my job or if it's not stupid slow. I have to catch the highlights. And I mean, that'll do it for me. Like you'll see majority of the good clips, and I see the NBA even got up on it because they started posting their own highlights. They realized like, because people ain't, what I'm saying, they're missing out on a great market. Additionally, like I said, if you just look at ticket price too, I mean, I think it used to be a cool thing where you can go get tickets, go to see an NBA game, and you could go support your team or cheer on your favorite player. Yeah. But now you gotta, pay to pay. Yeah.
If you want to go check a game out.
Facts.
So I think you've also ostracized people that are the true fans. You got the people, each and every day people complain about the people that are paying the thousands of dollars to sit courtside get the most love from the players and all this type of stuff, when the people that are realistically the fans are all the way in the back.
It's facts.
Cause I mean, the people that are up in the front half the time don't even care about the game. They just want to get their pictures taken. But I think that's what has to do a lot with it. They ostracize it. I mean, the game style and just the pricing of it all, I think has started to push a lot of people out.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't have the most popular product anyways. I mean, soccer's washing right now. Then you got, even in America, like you still got baseball and football. So, I mean, you could take a thing or two to learn. I mean, baseball plays plenty of games, but you got plenty of people to be able to tune in and catch a game. So I don't know what the NBA has done, but they have definitely messed up and pushed out a lot of the audience.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they'll do. Other NBA news, I can transition into entertainment world a little bit. In the sports entertainment world, I know the WWE just had their crown jewel, and I think they're headed into the Survival Series. So there's been if anybody's been catching it, there's been a big buildup, of course, with the greatest storyline in modernity is the Bloodline. as they are looking to head a 5v5 squad, I guess, into this War Games just to battle that out. I don't know if they're going to determine who's the Bloodline or not, but that's how they're going to get. They just added in Bronson Reed, this team solo, and Roman is still looking for, at time of filming, his fifth partner. A lot of people are speculating it might be Seth Rollins, who does have a deep history of Roman Reigns going back to where they both debuted in the Shield, but they hate each other. Because Seth Rollins turned on Roman Reigns, and even in WrestleMania, they battled it out alongside The Rock and alongside Cody Rhodes. So people are speculating that since currently Seth Rollins has big beef with Bronson Reed, he may join Team Roman, which is very interesting. But I think it's very interesting to see that, and particularly like as I've gotten really tapped back into WWE, to see that how a lot of the storylines are played out. And it's obviously recent storylines, but even like I said, particularly the Bloodline, I think is why it's so captivating, is because a lot of that storyline dates back 20, 30 years ago to when The Rock was there, when Rikishi was there, when the Wild Samoan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Is that a lot of these people of the Bloodline are actually still living out a lot of these similar stories. But it's been really good to watch. Obviously, a lot of people are, I guess, upset that Bronson Reed joined them, but he's Samoan as well. But he's from Australia, so he's not necessarily part of the Bloodline, but he's just here to wreck house. But it's been cool to see that under the tyrannical reign of the Bloodline, where everybody was champions, Jay, Jimmy, Sammy was in a championship hunt, and Roman, and they were killing it, and they were stepping on everybody in their way. How many people they ostracized because how much they cheated, how much they stole, and how much they essentially negatively impacted the game. Now that they're looking for help, it's been cool to see that nobody wants to help them. So there's probably going to be some character development, and if I had to say something to the people online that have mentioned that Roman Reigns has not apologized, why would he, when people to this day are still joining alongside him? While he has no Ulafala, he has no championships, and people aren't requiring for him to change his ways. I think he'll finally see it at a certain point. I feel like heading into Survivor Series, somebody might betray somebody, and that'll lead up to WrestleMania next year, which I ain't gonna lie, I was talking to Derek about trying to head out there, but then I saw some of the tickets they just dropped, and I ain't gonna be able to make it out there.
Yeah.
But that's another story.
It'll be nice one time for the one time, though.
Man, I wanted to catch it, bro, because I think they're going to have The Rock out there. I know they're having John Cena because, he announced he's doing a retirement tour next year.
Yeah, I wanna catch one of those big events, like if it's not like Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Survivor.
I would love to catch Royal Rumble.
Or like SummerSlam, one of those.
Yeah, I was talking to Derek about that. I think SummerSlam next year is in Jersey, though. So I was like, do I want to go to Jersey? I might check. I think Royal Rumble's in Canada or something like that. But I would definitely catch a Royal Rumble because I think that's a good way to see everybody.
Yeah, I'm saying Royal Rumble, you get minimum 10 matches, bro.
Nah, facts. And so it's been pretty cool because now I think TKO is spearheading everything now. They're the parent company of the UFC now and the WWE.
Wow.
And now the WWE is gonna be merging with Netflix next year. So a lot of people were a little bit hesitant about it because of we're gonna get to the Jake Paul fight, but that it's gonna be interesting to see because now of course WWE too, they've partnered alongside I think TNA and Ring of Honor. They still got some ties to it.
Yeah.
So a lot of the guys are jumping around from brand to brand. So that's been pretty cool to see too. So I definitely want to see it. You know what's crazy? The Hardy Boys was in town because they just re-signed I think with TNA.
Really?
Yeah. So they actually came and the other day in town. But I wasn't able to do it because I was at work and whatnot. But I was like, damn, I got to catch them.
Yeah.
Before they finish up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely do want to catch another event. Definitely a big PLE event for sure.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
But yeah, definitely that's one of the big things heading out into Survivor Series. Obviously, I think right now I'm probably having more of an affinity towards the women's game because there's really, I would say over the last few months, they've really developed a lot of talented women in the WWE.
The women on WWE be cooking, bro.
They amazing.
They genuinely be coming out and giving top tier matches every time. They don't never disappoint. I remember we went to a house show, Monday Night Raw, right?
No, Monday Night Raw.
Bro, they were going crazy like that. I ain't gonna lie. Outside of the main event, I think it might have been the main event.
I think it might have been.
But I mean, that was my favorite match.
No, yeah.
Outside of the like the tag team, because they were like just ridiculously in sync. But,
yeah,
like, that was
the Creeds and
yeah, like they were just. I mean, like I just ain't never seen no dudes, strong people, stuff like that. It was
that was OD.
Yeah, but like the women was ODing, like jumping out the ring, putting each other to tables, all type of stuff. I'm like, yo,
that was because I was leading up to WrestleMania. And that's when Rhea Ripley showed up. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So, you don't know what we're talking about. It was a match. I could probably find it on YouTube, but it was Becky Lynch matched up with Nia Jax. And that was it was like a table ladder chairs match. That was a crazy match. They went off. That was insane, man. I got some vlog footage of it, man, but that was a super good match. Mm-hmm. And I mean, rightfully so, Nia Jax right now is the on the SmackDown brand. Right? Yes, she's on the SmackDown brand, the women's champion right now. And on the Raw brand, we have, of course, Liv Morgan is the champion. Interestingly enough, they are currently looking to, looks like they're going at it. They have some beef right now with Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill, they've absolutely done a great job to lift up the women's tag team titles. Bianca Belair, we all know who she's a superstar, but she's done a lot to lift up Jade Cargill. It looks like she's really done a lot as they've been on this world tour throughout the multiple shows, challenging everybody and really highlighting a lot of acts from the women's division on each show. So I think they're going to end up doing a War Games match where it's Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. I think they have Io Sky on their roster. Io Sky is amazing. What is she called? The Genius of the Sky. Io Sky is awesome. She's incredible to watch. Former women's champion as well. I think they have, who else is going to be on their team? I forget who their fourth is. I don't know why it's escaped. It might be Naomi. I think it's Naomi. But they're matching up with Nia Jax. Probably going to be Liv Morgan. It's probably going to be Tiffany, which a lot of people love Tiffany right now. Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank right now, who right now is in a precarious situation because her best friend is Nia Jax, and she has the opportunity to cash in on Nia Jax and take her championship. So it's been an interesting little story watching what they doing in and out each week.
Heck of a storyline.
Yeah. So there's been a lot of pops and surprises whether or not Tiffany's going to cash in on her. So that's been good to see. Liv Morgan, we all know. Liv Morgan actually probably has had one of the more entertaining women's championship storylines going on right now. Obviously, her return from injury to then put Rhea Ripley on the shelf, and thus putting Rhea Ripley on the shelf, she ended up having to vacate her title. When she vacated the title, Becky Lynch ended up winning the tournament to take the title, and then from there onwards, Liv was able to snatch up the title for Becky Lynch amidst interruptions from the greatest villain right now in wrestling, Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, he's
right now, a lot of people are jealous because he's getting all the baddies.
He's killing it.
Had Rhea Ripley on his side, his mommy on his side, and turned on her to help Liv Morgan win and retain her championship. And I mean, he's amazing, man. When you think he can't go lower, he's gone lower. And I'm even watching his interviews, bro. He's incredible. Yeah, like his dude is just, and I think his type of humor too. Yeah, it's just sarcasm. I love it, bro. Like that dude is hilarious, man.
Dude walked out of his dad's Hall of Fame inductee.
He's
crazy.
Crazy. his dad getting inducted in the Hall of Fame, bro. Just walked out. just say, yeah, I've had enough of this and bounced.
His commitment to the bit, I mean, it has to be discussed.
He's next level, bro. And there was even a meme online because I think it was last week or whatever, where Tiffany Stratton was like, you know what, I could cash in on Liv Morgan or Nia Jax, but if I cash in on Liv, I could take Dom with me. And then there's a moment where the camera pans to Dom. He's looking like I might consider this. and then like Liv looks at him. He's like, oh, no, I'm not. Bro, that dude is like just so funny, bro.
Nah, he's crazy.
He amazing. But yeah, long story short, WWE cooking right now. I'm excited for War Games and a lot of the talent that is popped up front and come to fruition. Obviously, right now, I think Kevin Owens just put Randy Orton on the shelf. So there's a possibility we might see my greatest villain of all time, Randy Orton, the Viper, Randy Orton, come back. Because we've seen him. Right now, he's been, you know what I'm saying, he's been babyface. He's been good. We've been slightly seeing a little bit of, over the last couple months of him looking at Cody Rhodes' title a little crazy. And that's why I be saying that the storylines be so crazy because it's usually like cool with Cody Rhodes. And I remember when Cody Rhodes first got to the WWE, he was running alongside Randy Orton. And it's just so crazy, like, how deep the stuff has gotten at this point. But it's now Randy Orton might turn on him after Kevin Owens apparently put Randy Orton on the injury list. Now Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens might go at it. So heading forwards into the end of the year, I know stuff is about to get spicy as we head into WrestleMania. But yeah, for sure. Like I said, the parent company TKO also owns UFC, and UFC, we just saw John Jones go at it, and we saw another fight. Jake Paul, Mike Tyson.
Yeah. First off, 309, hats off to them. That was a pretty good show.
No, yeah.
Like, I know people have been complaining about the last couple of events. Some of them been lackluster, some of them been hitting. That was a pretty good night. Like, all the fights were pretty good. I think Oliveira and them, they threw down pretty good. The women threw down pretty well. John Jones and Stipe went crazy. I don't know. I mean, we all knew John Jones was going to win. Not the glaze or nothing, but to me, he was just better than him. That was like a perfect match for him, like they were saying the whole night. I seen him taunt Aspinall at the end, or look at Aspinall at the end and do the little Trump dance. That was funny. That was funny. And then to touch on that Jake Paul, man, I kind of felt going into it, it was going to be one of those kind of fights. I at that point, I really wish they would have just made it like an exhibition. If they're going to do it like that, because at least they maybe might have been able to have a little bit more fun with it. I felt like, I mean, and this is alleged as well, but like people say contractually, like they weren't able to really go full speed or full speed, so they were kind of it was like they were fighting an exhibition. Neither one of them could knock each other out, and if like the fight ended too early, Mike would have took a big loss to his purse, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's all alleged, of course, but it was kind of, I ain't gonna lie, it was kind of a snooze fest for the fight to, you know.
I actually fell asleep.
Yeah, actually. So I don't know. It was good to see him in the ring. Like, obviously he's 60 years old. It's cool to see him be able to get back in the ring. And I saw he said he had a blood transfusion like earlier within the year. He almost died.
They were supposed to match up like early in like April or May, and then they had to adjust it. That right there actually is what made me believe that it was gonna be what it was gonna be.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if you even remember, like it was like a year or two ago where he fought Roy Jones Jr. and like they both, I think, had it set up where they couldn't hit each other in the head. So I was like, at this point, because like I said, I was like, bro, Jake Paul y'all can say whatever y'all want to say. If Jake Paul catch that dude, Mike Tyson, he already not mentally there. I mean, what is he gonna do at 60 years old if somebody hits him in the head square? I mean, so I was like, something about me just didn't feel right going into it.
Yeah.
And likewise, I said I just couldn't see it making any sense for Jake Paul to get knocked out. Like, why would he take that risk to fight a 60-year-old person?
Yeah, I mean, like, with all things considered, like, Jake Paul's not an idiot.
No.
He knows full well that Mike Tyson still has the capability to knock him out. Like, at any given moment. Regardless of him being old, his legs being weak, like, if he wants to, he can still knock him out. That's a trained boxer. He's been boxing for 40 years, bro. Like, there's no shadow of a doubt he can knock him out. And there's no shadow of a doubt that Jake Paul could probably do the same. Because, I mean, he's young. He's got his legs. He's got time on his side. And he's also strong. He's also got a heavy hit. So, it doesn't really make sense for both of them to put themselves in danger for a fight that's genuinely just a cash cow machine.
Yeah, but say. I mean, that's why I got to congratulate Jake Paul on, because one thing him and his brother know how to do, they know how to get some money, man.
Yeah.
I was looking at that arena, man. That thing was packed to the brim.
Yeah, absolutely.
I said, man, it's crazy. And they said they like pulled in record numbers for, like, they were literally crashing Netflix site.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I said a lot of people that are WWE fans were upset, because since WWE is going to be moving to Netflix, a lot of people were fearing of what that might do to the site. But I think it was just a one-time off. I'm sure they'll have everything fixed. I mean, I'm sure they didn't even expect the sheer volume of users that were going to be checking out the Jake Paul fight.
Yeah, and I also think, like you said, it's they gonna have a little bit more time to iron everything out. Like, they haven't done but like a few live events, anyways. Yeah. I think this might be number 2. Mm-hmm. So I mean, they're not used to having that type of traffic on the website, at least live users. So I don't know.
I think the whole Jake Paul thing, and that's why I also got to salute him too, is because, for one, he also put a lot of boxers on the map. I mean, definitely in the undercards, but I mean, obviously the Serrano fight was amazing. That was a bloody disaster. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people were upset. A lot of people believe that she got slighted in the fight right before. I mean, that was a gnarly fight. They were both sliced up, cut up, bloody. It was gnarly, man. They were just beating the heck out of each other. And I mean, there's possibility we might see part 3 of that fight, but we'll see it. But I do have to salute Jake Paul for highlighting a lot of these boxers going into it, even if his fight was going to be what it was. At the end of the day, he really gave a lot of these people platforms on the biggest stages they're going to get. I mean, all these guys got great purses, I'm sure, heading into it, versus what they would have got any other world. So I got to salute it. But I think moving forwards, I don't know what to do. I don't know what Jake Paul will do. I'm sure he'll always find somebody, but I think he has a curse now where a lot of people are dreaming and salivating at him possibility getting knocked out. I think he's just at a weird position now where there's an entertainment factor that has to go alongside with what he's doing. And I think the prospect of, like you said, getting knocked out for him and the opponent has to make sense contractually. Like, for Jake Paul, is what, 11 fights in, 12 fights in? Mm-hmm. If I find somebody that has the same, record or the same amount of professional fights that I have, or the same amount of experience that I have, it won't make sense to me as Jake Paul, because I would just be giving him a platform.
Yes, but it also, like, again, we talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like, he's kind of a tricky draw, because while, you are giving me a platform, I'm the actual boxer here.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what your platform comes with, I'm the actual boxer here. So you fighting me is only going to give you legitimacy. Me fighting you doesn't do anything for me other than put my face out here.
But then again, does it? Because think about it. Like I said, Jake Paul's got 11 pro fights or 12 pro fights under. Like, if I find somebody else that has 11, 12 pro fights, does it legitimize me as a boxer, Jake Paul? Because some people would say, that guy, really got many fights.
I mean, but it also depends on the caliber of fighter he's fighting as well. Because I think, while Jake Paul has 11 or 12 pro fights, he only fought one boxer.
Yeah.
Twice, 2 maybe, if you consider Mike Tyson.
Right.
And when he fought that one boxer, he lost. And the boxer that he fought was average at best boxer.
Yeah, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't fight anybody that was a...
Some people believe that fight was
What, rigged?
Miscalculated by the judges.
I'll have to disagree on that one. I think he definitely lost that fight.
I don't think he's better than Tommy Fury, but I do think that you can make an argument that Jake Paul could have won the fight.
I think it could have been. I don't know. I
don't think Tyson Fury in any sense blew him away.
I don't think he blew him away, but I think Tyson Fury was definitely
Tommy Fury, my fault.
Was definitely the better fighter that night. I think on most cylinders he outperformed Jake Paul. I don't think
he's that good either, actually. And I think about it.
Yeah, but I don't think it was a landslide, but
it was a split decision.
Yeah. I think if you were to look at the fight and say, who's really better, I think you have to go with Tommy.
I don't know. I honestly didn't even get that taste watching it. Where I was, like that's what I said to me. They look like an even playing field. There was a couple things that I think Tommy Fury does better than him, but I mean, I'm sure I could find that in any fighter. There's plenty of people, like, for example, that are way better than Deontay Wilder, but Deontay Wilder went like 46-0, just knocking people out with a right hand. So, I mean, but I think also the problem with boxing right now is that everybody wants to keep their records intact. So I think
all the time.
in order for him to fight anybody, but I mean, even realistically, the only reason that the Tommy Fury fight even worked is because, I mean, he's in the Fury family, where I mean, he's got his brothers. Like, there was a little bit more like that could sauce it up.
Yeah.
But like I said, going to another fight, if Jake Paul's to fight any other boxer, but like, you know, that amount of success is like.
But that's why, like, I think
business wise, that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I think that's not really his shtick. Anyhow, I think he's kind of become privy to that. Like, he doesn't need to fight boxers. He doesn't need to legitimize himself as a boxer.
No.
It doesn't matter what he does. Like, he's one of those guys. It doesn't matter what he does. He's never going to be seen as a boxer. Yeah. Until he literally beats an entire division.
No, that's true. Like, that's true.
At this point, just go
do what you want to do.
Do money grabs. That's it. At the end of the day, just for me, fight this retired MMA fighter or fight this retired boxer. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, everybody knows it's going to be a money grab. And for nostalgic reasons, people are always going to want to see their old favorites or whoever step back in the ring. So it's an infinite money glitch at this point.
I kind of agree with you there, because I think he's figured out a way in order to sauce up the crowds in order to believe that he's going to take an L, which I think there is legitimacy behind. I mean, any fight. You could fight anybody. And, like, there's a possibility that he could lose.
But now that we go on to that point, I do see why, like, somebody like WWE would be worried about that. Because, like, he's kind of, like, he's stepping, like, full-on stepping into that boxing kind of being, like, already pre-calculated and predetermined kind of bag. So it's like, okay, well, we're doing it on this side, but now you're bringing a whole entire new scape to a platform where we just signed the deal to do that. So I ain't gonna lie, it does get kind of tricky for them. Or it could get kind of tricky for them, depending on how Jake Paul plays it out.
No, yeah.
Because, I mean, he's only fought, like, one boxer for real, and he already struck a deal with Netflix.
No, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's gargantuous.
No, bro. Like I said, bro, he could supersede majority of traditional boxing platforms. Golden Boy, all these different promotions. He can get, like, go mess with Jake Paul. Yeah. Because he'll get you some money. I mean, like, the guys that he's fought, bro, he's put, like, more money in half of their bags in one fight than they probably got in their career.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think, could be viewed as very dangerous. And I think I could see why, like, Dana White may not like him so much, because there's a possibility that he could just, I mean, obviously there's some security in history behind the UFC, but he could be somebody who could realistically take his name and say, bro, like, what I'm able to drive right now through social media, my name, and honestly, at the point he's got the money to float, a lot of these scenarios and situations where he could get his own league that could possibly overtake that.
I'm not gonna lie, because he's got the DraftKings and whatever. Like, I ain't gonna lie, it gets crazy for him because he can really do whatever he wants. And boxing's in a horrible place right now as far as promotions.
No, yeah.
So, like, they're really pretty much just waiting to be grabbed up.
And then, like, even doubling down on that, like you said, I mean, in the traditional boxing world, the people that he's called out, like particularly Canelo. Canelo, I don't understand why he wouldn't fight him. I mean, Canelo, you like 50-something fights in. I mean, brother, you like 60-something. I don't even know. Canelo has so many fights under his belt.
Canelo, I think
Canelo's way better than Jake Paul, though. I will say that.
I think Canelo is genuinely scared of fighting anybody that, like, has any possibility of beating him.
And that's what it is.
I really don't know why. Like, if you're that guy, just get in the ring, bro.
Yeah.
I don't understand that ideology with boxers. Like, Floyd, people be saying, like, Floyd messed up the game, but Floyd never shot away from any opponent.
No.
If you wanted to get in the ring with him, he'll get in there. Even to this day, like, if you think you can beat him, let's run an exhibition. Let's do it. Like,
I think Floyd is smart, but I also think a lot of what Floyd had to do was, like I said, similarly with the Jake Paul effect. He had his own promotion group. He had everything that was going on. I'm making so much money right now boxing. It has to make sense for me to fight you.
Absolutely.
And I think that's where a lot of that came from, was I can just fight anybody just to fight them because I'll be giving you more of a light than it would do for me. So it had to be something that where Floyd kind of found the money glitch in the boxing end of things, where he knew how to promote and set up opportunities for where it would all make sense. But like you said, I think he fought whoever he needed to fight. You can make the argument for, like, oh, he didn't fight Canelo. Like, but there's just a disparity in maybe where it was able to work out. Their career highs were just at different points in time. I think, like, for example, even somebody like Canelo, weight class wise, he's way out of Floyd's class.
Yeah.
But like you said, he fought everybody. So I think boxing is just so crazy because, like you said, a lot of people trying to emulate what Floyd did. Being they let Floyd be a one-off.
And I think, like, that's the crazy part about it is, like, brother, Floyd is undefeated.
Yeah.
You've already lost. Like, let it go. It's okay. Like, and honestly, I think just in general, like, boxers need to be okay with losing because that's how you genuinely show how great of a fighter you are, is how you come back after the loss. Like, you can't be a great fighter if you don't lose unless you're somebody like Floyd. You just didn't lose. You know what I mean? But, like, if you're not going through the divisions and going through everybody and you're cherry picking every fight, Geronta Davis and some of these other guys, like, you're cherry picking every single fight, you cannot sit there and say, oh, I'm the GOAT, I'm one of them guys.
Right.
No, you're not, because you keep running away from everybody. You're not fighting nobody.
Yeah.
Tank. Like, I mean, you keep running away from Lopez and all these other guys in other weight classes. You done did your damage in 135. You might as well move up. Canelo, running away from Benavidez, trying to ask him for like 200 M's, bro. You have never been a $200 million
No, it ain't been that type of dude.
Never.
And you getting old. Like, let's wrap it up. Let's just do it, bro.
I'm saying, like, that's the perfect thing to pass the torch. I mean, you the OG right now. I mean, pass the torch to the young guy. You know he's killing. Both of the Benavidez brothers are really nice, honestly.
No, yeah.
But I think, like, I don't know. Like, it's almost like boxing is not boxing anymore. Like, why are you scared of a good fight? I get the instances where, oh, it doesn't make sense for me to fight somebody like you because, I mean, you haven't done anything. You haven't proved anything. Like a Shakur fight for Gervonta Davis. Like,
right.
I get that. That might not make sense for you. But
I agree with that.
in some of these other instances, like, people are just running.
Oh, yeah,
I think that's what honestly caused the heavyweight division to be what it is today too. Like, everybody was running. Anthony Joshua was running. He was refusing to fight Deontay Wilder.
Yeah.
All of these guys was refusing to fight. And I'm like, bro.
Now the draw is gone.
Exactly.
Because all of them have taken L's.
Yeah. And they're all about to be done.
Yeah, they're all getting beat the heck out of. Like you said, I remember there was at one point, I remember there was a really big, like, draw behind Joshua or Fury or Wilder all fighting one another. And now they have all been beaten the heck out of.
Yeah.
So, like, there was a point where they were invincible because, like you said, a lot of the time maybe it was how they're booked or in their prime. But I think also them never losing, never, like, allowed them to get any better.
Yeah.
So now you have people, all these guys that are so deep into their career that are one-trick ponies. Mm-hmm. And now, you can't really see you guys sell tickets now because you were so focused on being undefeated. Mm-hmm. And instead of, like, giving the people what they wanted in terms of some monumental fights.
Yep.
And then, like, as I think, if we could have seen a Deontay Wilder versus Joshua or a Joshua versus Fury a while back. Mm-hmm. And, okay, we'll do part 2. Or we could have done that. But now it's like, I don't watch either of them fight. Probably, but you missed where that the height of it all was. Mm-hmm. I would say. I don't know, but yeah, I agree with you. Boxing is in the craziest place.
And it's really easy to fix though. It's simple. Y'all just need to fight. Like, that's the whole purpose of you boxing, anyways. You just supposed to fight the fighters that's in front of you.
Yeah, like I said, I understand there's a business behind it too, but, like,
you gonna get paid anyways. You give a good fight. That's Dana be talking about that with the UFC. Like, people be trying to cherry pick their opponents and, I want the bonus. I want to put on a good fight and you gonna get a bonus.
You gonna be good.
Yeah, like, for me, people be trying to get bonuses and nobody getting knocked out, or you fighting every single round and then you submitting somebody. Nobody want to see that, bro. Mm-hmm. Go fight. It's the ultimate fighting championship. Go fight.
This is crazy. Sliding out of sports and into deeper entertainment. Of course, a lot of rappers now and musicians as a whole have been dropping a lot of new music. I know that Tyler just dropped, and a lot of people are back comparing her to Rihanna. And I think they're easing off the gas pedal in terms of like the critiques they've had about her, so they're enjoying her a little bit. I know there was a lot of people upset about, I guess, her dropping a views video on like the day of the election. Well, not the election, but the poll counts. But then I know LMA just dropped too. A lot of people I've been here bumping her stuff, and GLORILLA right now, who's had a sensational run.
Yeah, it's been a pretty crazy year for her.
Yeah, I mean, her bounce back on that cha-cha-cha. I think she needed that.
Yeah,
because that was so crazy.
But I think like a lot more artists need to. She had her moment too, where she wasn't being receptive or whatever the critique.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I think like it's okay. Like sometimes you miss.
Yeah,
and it's fine. And she went back to the drawing board and organically kind of like put in all the time and efforts. That's why like she's receiving the flowers like she's getting them right now, because she genuinely went and put in the work and came back with another banger and came back with another banger and then came back with another banger and then dropped a good album. And for me, like she doing her thing. It's organic. So
yeah, I agree. I did see too. Right now, the internet's most hated rapper, DDG just dropped with I think it was who was it? He just dropped with, oh boy, what's oh boy, the one that got that that song that everybody loves right now. Gosh, it's Rich something, right? It's called like What You Bad For or something like that. He just dropped. Boston Richie. He's got that song.
I didn't know Boston Richie was on it.
He got that song that everybody likes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't know Boston Richie was on the song.
I ain't gonna lie.
He's cooked.
Oh.
DG.
Why you say that?
He just is, bro. Like it's nothing with his talent. And for me, I rock with, bro. I think he be putting on. He, for me, he's a pioneer. But like I just think he's just one of those cases where like it doesn't like it doesn't matter what you do, bro.
No, yeah.
People are just, they don't want to see you win, bro.
No, yeah.
Like it's crazy because like I be bumping his music. He makes good music.
Yeah.
I used to watch the videos. Like he does good content. He's gonna be a good content creator. But it just like I don't know.
Nah, yeah.
I seen a video where somebody was like, my heart goes out to the mama of DDG because I don't know how she gets on social media every day and seeing her son get slaughtered like this. I was like, nah, no cap, bro, because he can't do anything without receiving like the utmost backlash, bro.
Yeah, just I think he does play into it a lot too nowadays.
I think at this point it's smart for him.
But that's the opposite. That's what you've got to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I kind of agree that he's just. Yeah, I agree with you. He's at a point where just people just don't want to see him win. I think that's the byproduct of it. But I mean, I think it's also maybe the way he came up. And I said it to say like, I mean, a lot of his stuff was controversial.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I know he had a lot of like internet beefs with people, and even the type of content he was early putting out with like women and stuff like that, which always has the internet swinging one side or the other. But yeah, people just don't want to see him win. I mean, honestly, I think in the music realm, like I said, he's put out some pretty solid hits.
He already has a platinum song and a gold one.
Multiple gold, yeah.
I think he might have 2 platinum ones.
No, yeah. So it's like, but like as I was gonna say, I think a lot of people just bump his stuff on like in private. Or not even in private. I think in public people bump his stuff, but then like on the internet, people want to get on there and act like they like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
And I think that's the wildest thing ever because dude has like millions of followers and you know like plenty of success through social media, and people will still act up like I don't even know who this dude is.
I don't know. I think it was like I saw it a lot during where he was with Hallie, and it's not like I was like I've never been one of those like social media relationship people where I just seek it out, but like you see it all the time. They just be cooking, bro.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I mean, it seems like he does well for himself.
Yeah, he's all right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's got a following. I don't know. People just, I feel like he's just one of the people, like, they just hate him.
Yeah.
Like, there's no good reason, but you just can't win for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah, like you said, I kind of hate it for him, but
I feel like he has, and he does have a fan base. It's just craziest thing about it. It's like I wanted to say like he can't build a true fan base because of it, but he has a true fan base. But it's like he has like he's kind of in that like it's like that YB effect, low key. Like
where he can't. It's him trying to grow. I think outside of the bubble.
Exactly.
I think is what's been.
And he just has people saying, "Oh, well, no, I hate his music," or "I hate this." You've never even
Yeah, for no reason.
Never,
yeah,
you know
you
what
just,
I'm saying?
That's what it is. Yeah, a lot of people just basing their opinion on him based off the opinion of other people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of what's hurting or helping him too. Is I think as big as he gets now, he's because I think with music you kind of have to intertwine between multiple fan bases and groups. But I think now he's at a point where so many people. Like he's at a point where he's got so many fan groups and bases, but it's all coming from a certain position.
Yeah.
Like for example, him being with Halle could have, like them doing a song together would, like help him and help her because they would both get a lot of fans. But because of where a lot of her fans probably come from and the type of stuff they support, they're gonna slide and side with the relationship.
Yeah.
Before anything. So when that goes sour. There goes his supporters.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's kind of hurt him coming up too.
Facts.
But I also think DDG could seriously tap into just being like a Quavo type of artist where drop choruses.
Yeah, just do hooks and stuff.
Yeah. Because I mean, what you bad folks on I think the hook is pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
Boss Richard came in there and did his thing. DDG's verse was there. I will say.
I didn't really hear it. No,
Yeah, I just listened to it when it first came out. I watched the music video, but yeah, I mean, yeah, it was.
I think I can see that. I think he just gotta drop more for real.
No, yeah.
And just put it because like
Yeah, I think that's what it is.
he's like a part-time musician almost.
I think that's true too, because like you said, you see him more doing other stuff.
Yeah, and which I mean it's fine because he got a bunch of other ventures going on. But I just think if he wants to solidify himself within the music realm and kind of like get those people to stop looking at him like he's an illegitimate artist, you kind of just got to go through the artist cycle.
You kind of got to like lock
gotta
in,
go
which
through
I
the
think he just cursed because I remember him trying to be like, okay, I'm gonna stop doing YouTube so y'all can see I'm serious, locked in.
But that's the thing, like
It didn't really change nothing.
you don't have to stop doing YouTube or have to stop doing any of that stuff because it's kind of like it's almost like you're shooting yourself in your foot because. For you to say you stop doing YouTube, but then you know you have to post your music videos and everything on YouTube, and you have to use YouTube as a streaming platform.
Yeah.
It's like, don't do that. Just maximize it and kind of pioneer your own wave of doing it because that's exactly what you can do.
Yeah.
You're an artist that's kind of in your own league. A lot of artists are not creating content of them creating other content. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's an infinite glitch, bro, if you do it right.
Yeah. I was like, maybe he was chasing that in order to try and maybe prove to an audience that he was serious or try and garner a new audience of people that were just solely looking at him for music and maybe not having coming at him with a preconceived notion of where he's at in regards to like, oh, I've developed a idea of who this guy is based on social media. Instead, I guess him trying to disappear from social media was, okay, let's just garner a bunch of fans organically that just come to me and listen to my music.
But it doesn't work.
But it doesn't.
You're already a social media
You're
guy.
too deep.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Too deep in.
You're deep in as an influencer. When people look you up, it's going to say influencer / hip-hop artist or artist / social media influencer. So you're already too deep in. So you might as well just be what that is.
Yeah, I think that's just what he's going to have to do. Just keep dropping the music and just kind of like work out the kinks or whatever.
Yeah.
And of course, in music, too, I mean, a lot of guys nowadays have been getting caught up with the law. I think that it's something that at some point has started to become synonymous with rap. I mean, obviously, we've seen big guys go down. I mean, obviously, Young Thug just was released, and Lil Durk just went down. I think they just turned down his non-guilty plea or whatever, so they're supposed to be, I guess, adding more dates to his court processes. But, I mean, is this indicative of the culture, do you think?
I don't think it's indicative of the culture. I think it's indicative of what people think the culture is.
Yeah.
And I saw a pretty in-depth breakdown about this on a podcast I was watching. And I think that's because the escape of hip-hop in what is decided to be the culture isn't actually decided by people that are of the culture. You know what I'm saying? The escape of hip-hop is what white execs or white CEOs that are the heads of these music companies or these labels is what they think it is or what they view that it should be. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason why all these CEOs and execs, when they are signing these artists, they're taking out life insurance policies on them. They're going out of their way to find rappers directly from the block, or finding rappers that there's a reason why you're seeing like drill rappers and artists that make this like violent type of music on the rise and getting signed so much, because it's an easy bag for them. And it's like it's a very quick money glitch for them. But like, I don't think that's indicative of the culture. I think that's just indicative of certain geographical areas and like you know what I'm saying, impoverished areas. It's always been like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, impoverished areas have always been the victims of more crime or higher rates of crime, or you know what I'm saying, higher rates of injustice. It's just how it goes because they're disenfranchised a little bit. But I don't think that's indicative of the culture at all, because on the whole other side of things, you have a bunch of people making music that contains enriching subject matter, that actually contains positivity, stuff that actually feeds your soul. It's just, it doesn't get pushed to the forefront, and we all know why. You know what I'm saying? I think a big issue with that is we don't have enough people of the culture actually representing the culture. Like, again, 90% of these label heads and label execs and people that are actually pushing this stuff towards playlists and everything are white CEOs and white execs. So they don't really have any connection or any claims to the culture, so they don't really care what happens.
And that's why I think it's
why
so
should they?
funny.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that are helping generate these caricatures that we're seeing. Like, that's why I like every day, like, Sexy Red's making hits, but I just laugh at like her presentation, because I just imagine that she came in there one day and performed for the A&Rs and whatever, and I'm Sexy Red, this is what I do, this is what I look like, this is some of my songs. And like you said, if you were somebody who's not of the culture, this is what you would believe the culture to be. And if this is stuff that's pushed to the mass media, then everybody else will assume that this is culture. So then that's why I just say, then I think hip hop, in a sense, I just could cut straight to the source, is I think that it is something that we could attach the culture to, but I think a lot of what is in hip hop is what is more attributed to what the culture is. Like you said, and I said to say, artists like Sexy Red or like drill rap or trap music is, I think, the stuff that's pushed to the forefront right now. So this is what a lot of people attribute the black community and the black culture to be like, when this isn't necessarily anything that is indicative of it. It's just something that is a subset of something that we value in the culture. We value hip-hop music, and trap, drill, and all this type of stuff is a part of hip-hop music.
Yeah. And I think we don't gatekeep enough. Like, I think we'll let anybody get on a beat and just classify that as rap music when it's really not. Like, a lot of the time, and we know full well, like, a lot of the time, some of these people will make, like, a lot of the drill artists will be making songs, and it's not even like, you're not even a rapper, bro. You're just I don't want to call it a spade. Like, you're just a murderer you just made it sound nice, bro. It's like, I think we got to get to a point where we stop actually like calling this music. Like, this is not music, bro.
You might be on something.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think we got to get to a point where we actually have to look at things with some sense of critical thinking and be like, okay, this isn't really doing any good for anybody. It's honestly doing damage for the artist. It's doing damage for its community. You know what I'm saying? And it's not even just to be like on some woke consciousness. Oh, you gotta be empathetic, brother. No. It's just, bro. It's a cycle, and there's only one person eating off of that cycle. So I think, like, we've got to, like, once you, and artists like that are getting signed or whatever have to do a better job. Like, once you feel me, you get an opportunity to actually make music and legitimize yourself, do that. and you don't have to continue to be a victim of your community, or for me, a victim of the cycle. You know what I'm saying? You could break out of that. That's your one up. You know what I'm saying? Take that handout and get up out of there. And I think we got to do a better job of just classifying everything. Like everything that has a boom bap beat or a heavy bass line behind it does not be classified as rap. Some of that junk just be insane music, or it just be insane, and we just be like, oh, we don't know what else to call it. Let's throw it in the rap category. It does a lot of damage for just the genre in general, because it overshadows a lot of the people that are actually making genuine rap music or genuine hip hop, that are actually speaking about something that actually have a message behind it. What they're saying doesn't even have to be positive all the time. It could just be an observation of what's going on in life. But it's giving people actually something to relate to, and to actually listen to, and to actually feed their ears. You know what I'm saying? It's not just, oh, gra 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 boom boom, I'm finna pull up on bro and switch them down. Like, nah.
But yeah, you're right. I think,
and then in the same breath, we'll see these rappers that make that type of music. We'll see them in court and be like, well, I mean, it's a song. You can't use it against them. It's like, no, bro, it doesn't work like that. If you be like in the beginning of the song, all of this is facts, I'm not capping in one of these, like, you cannot do that. So it's like,
facts.
Why you, for me, either play a character and be a persona, or just rap about your life. You know what I'm saying? Or just be a little bit more genuine with it. If you're going to be the persona, but do it right. You know what I'm saying? They be 1 foot in and 1 foot out between being a street nigga and being a legitimate businessman.
No, yeah. And I think a lot of what is the byproduct of that type of stuff too is what is detrimental to the community, because like you said, you have a lot of this stuff that gets glorified and pushed to the forefront when, like you said, you have plenty of people who are talking about something that is derived from, like I said, something that is poetic in nature. Yeah. I mean, poetry early on was what we were, basing rap to be. And I think now we see like a lot of this drill stuff, a lot of stuff that gets pushed to the forefront. And I think also like the stuff that we're pushing in terms of the flashy lifestyle, the chains, all that type of stuff that's indicative of that side of hip hop, I think it's detrimental to the community, because then if you're rapping about, I did this, I did that, I did this, and then while I got this Louis and you ain't nobody if you don't got this Gucci on, then I think that the people that are maybe the people that can't differentiate real from facts are the ones that man, I gotta get me some Louis in order to be somebody. Yeah. And I gotta do this by any means, because my favorite rapper said, you gotta do it by any means necessary. So if I gotta run in that store, I'm gonna do it.
And it's like we're approaching it with a sense of being naive, because it's like we know how music connects to people, and just how entertainment and just how any of these like movies, film, any of this stuff connects to people. When people see this stuff, that's how we get that reaction, and we get the support of the consumers. They connect with what's on screen, or they connect with what's within the song. If we keep having these people to connect to fallacies, bro, right, we not rooting ourselves in nothing. So I think we gotta do better with that as well. Like we're giving people a facade to live up to, and then continue to perpetuate that same facade, and it's an endless cycle. It's like, okay, you don't gotta be this. They'll say, oh, I be capping on my interviews, or this not that. But then go back to the song and be like, oh, you gotta be this, you gotta be that. So it's like double H's, bro.
And that's why I even go to like truly, like I think like what kind of genre would you say sexy red music is in? Like the Megan Thee Stallion, Sexy Red, like what is that genre?
I'd say it's
like scamming like music, tricking music. Like
I don't know
city girl music.
I don't know what the name of it is, but I guess it's just
all that stuff. I think the city girl music, the drill rap. I think all that's population control. I mean, like I said, if you get people to idolize this image where you have to be ultra flashy,
population control is insane.
Because I mean, look at it, bro. Like I just seen, bro. I forgot who it was. This dude was at Johnny Dang talking about, I just spent, it was like 200, like $250,000 on like a grill. Bro. There was some crazy stuff. And Johnny Dang just in the back, like, like rubbing his hand together like Birdman. I was just like, there's actually no way that you put this out. Like, there's no way you believe this is an artist, and then like you put that out there for people to eat that up, man. You have at least some sense that you have influence. So that, like, I think in that aspect, and then like, oh, you got to get the big car, the flashy car. Like I have in the industry, I've seen so many people that will put aside their own basic needs. One, I think it's a result of consumerism.
Yeah.
But I think obviously a lot of things that we push to the forefront of the culture help multiply that too. But I mean, you put people like I was talking about earlier, like that Honda is gonna do the same things that Rolls Royce. You got plenty of people that will go broke about that luxury car when you just need to get you something that is good, reliable, and is gonna get the job done. But a lot of people will turn aside that reliability, something that's possibly more manufactured than anything else, and will turn towards the luxury brand so I can show everybody I'm living like that.
Yeah.
So I think the image in one is just another way to keep everybody in debt, another way to control the population. I mean, these people that are running down doing drills in the inner city, what they listening to?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it is a fact.
What's hyping them up to do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then like you have an epidemic of single mothers, and I mean particularly in the black community, we have the least married and the most children out of wedlock. Where is that coming from? A lot of that's the people that they're relating to, the public figures that they're drawing influence from, are the people that are at the forefront of this music. Granted, like I said, it's not all hip hop, but there's a segment, and that's why I said I just think about like these people coming to the label execs with this type of music, this type of idea, and like the people just sitting there like, it's like the Drewski thing. Like I know Drewski be trolling, but like, I know people really coming up there serious, and like that's what they look at. It's like, this is what I got to do in order to essentially to dance.
Yeah.
To tap dance, shuck and jive.
Yeah.
For these fools. And that's why I think, I was talking to Derek about it the other day. I was like, this is why I think a lot of people end up in terrible contracts. Because if I'm looking at it from the perspective of a label exec, if this person's coming up to me with face tats, all this type of stuff that look crazy, and they're talking about the subject matter where there's not anything really up depth, mentally, lyrically, and it's not anything that I can traditionally commercialize. Like, I'm not gonna see, you don't see a lot of these type of music, trap music. You're not gonna see that in like an ad for Macy's headed to Christmas time.
Yeah, no.
So I can't really commercialize anything like that. I'm gonna have to put you in a bad contract because I cannot gain anything from you. And now that's what we were talking about, like because we were chatting about like possibly where rap is going in the future. Because I have a take that I think hip hop is going to die because the people that are carrying hip hop are there's people that are not necessarily putting out the music that is the best promotion of the content. Now, there's plenty of big-time artists that are rapping with some type of subjectivity and some type of content, but I think the people that we're pushing to the front right now, at the end of the day, they're going to look at the numbers. Man, if this type of music is streaming more than that, let's push them. And these people, I can probably control a little bit more. Because, well, you got plenty of people that probably come up there and just do whatever, and they ain't rapping any different than the dude that's rapping right now, but I'm just willing to commit. I probably got a couple dollars in my back pocket. I'm willing to commit to, hey, look, whatever you need me to do, I'll do it right now as an artist. And so even though my music isn't any better than anybody that's currently out, I'm just willing to commit to the bit. And then, I mean, that's what I think we've seen, too, over the last few years. We've seen plenty of people that are little, like, clout demons. Yeah. Just coming out with all these face tattoos and the purple hair and all this type of stuff. And like, yeah, I'm doing this and doing that. And here's my music. And, I mean, I think these people are just manufactured by a label exec. It's like, I can probably get a lot of money out of you and put you in like a 70-30 contract because, honestly, you have nothing to offer me as an artist. And I think, truthfully, a lot of artists that are stepping into the space nowadays, not just even hip-hop, don't have much to offer to a label.
Yeah.
Because
I think a lot of artists don't do an accurate assessment of how much power they actually have, as well as just being the artist. Yeah. I think if you're an artist at this point in the game, there's really no need for a label. Yeah. Because you do everything that the label does as is already. You already have the influence. You already have the listeners. You already have the community or whatever behind you. Yeah, they're gonna push it to make it a machine. But at what cost? It's like you lose all creative control, you lose all control over your music to get pushed as a machine where you could just have your cult fan base, and you'll always eat off of your cult fan base. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you independent and you're not worrying about splitting nothing with a label, you're gonna eat ridiculously off of that.
But that's what I think. Also, a lot of artists don't necessarily even have their own cult fan base. I remember, like, maybe it was a couple months ago. It was, what was that girl named CLEOTRAPA was arguing with Ice Spice about the do's and don'ts, the nuances of their tour because she felt like she was being not treated right. When, like, girl, you was a single artist. Obviously, I don't have, like, you haven't been able to turn around your own following, which I'm sure is pretty large right now because you've been hanging around Ice Spice. You haven't been able to turn that following into something that will do anything for you as an individual artist because you have to fund everything and you are looking for a handout from Ice Spice, who is being pushed by the machine. I think that was a good situation because it pointed out probably how many independent acts there are who realistically can't get it done without a label.
But
because you can only get it done, like you're saying, by having a cult fan base, by getting your music out there. And the only way you're going to be able to do it is, one, by having the type of grind, and at a certain point, there's a money threshold that comes into play.
yeah, I also don't think she's a good artist to use for an example.
talent-wise, no, for sure.
Not even just talent-wise, like, she's not even a big enough independent artist to be like,
Yeah.
First of all, Ice Spice isn't even big enough.
Nah.
As herself. Like,
Nah.
her opening up for Ice Spice, yeah, that might do a little bit for her, but, like, Ice Spice ain't even that big of an artist within herself
I agree.
to even, like, really provide a platform for anybody.
But contrary to what Shorty was doing on her own,
I mean,
this is a blessing.
is it really, though?
What was you finna do otherwise? Was you finna go hire DJs, security, go pay for an event in a venue, start hiring promoters? Was she gonna do that on her own? I gave you a golden ticket. Just show up and perform your music. If people like it, they like it. If Ice Spice is generating a thousand tickets, I put you in front of 1,000 people. What else are you finna do? Otherwise, you come out of pocket and figure it all out yourself.
Shit, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, that probably would have been better for her, bro. Low key, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Like, coming out of pocket and developing or getting those listeners and everybody that you feel me, you get off of that is going to mess with you genuinely because they mess with you. Because you going out there on a tour with Ice Spice, first of all, I think an idea is just insane because you don't make the same type of music as Ice Spice.
No.
First of all, you like on your emo-y kind of like alternative-esque rap girl kind of thing. You don't even really need to be with Ice Spice. I'm not gonna lie. Ice Spice, she makes what she makes. So I'm not even gonna get into that. She makes insane music. So it's like, you don't even make the same type of music as her. So first off, outside of just like the fact that you're a woman and you're rapping, they really don't have any connection between y'all two. So we listen to trash music. So if you coming on here, you actually trying to like, you're actually passionate about your craft, you shouldn't even have been here in the first place.
Yeah.
So I feel like, not even saying like she couldn't have benefited off it, but I just think that was a terrible idea for her because like that's not your fan base. And you're probably not gonna get many fans from that because they don't want the type of music that you're making.
Yeah.
You hear what they're listening to. They don't want the type of music you're making. So I feel like you could have just put that same money or that you're putting into travel and whatever to go with Ice Spice and just go on the radar or the For the Block or something and do a little freestyle video and get whatever views you get on it. But she got enough influence to get 10,000 views or whatever. Couple tens of thousands of views, and that organically will provide you. I think a little bit. I think it'll.
Do you think so?
It'll stand the test of time a little bit more because you can look at her. I don't think it's that low. And honestly, like I don't think she's been making music for that long, to my knowledge.
She almost got 1 million followers.
For real.
So she almost got 1 million. So CLEOTRAPA almost got 1 million followers.
Yeah, but most of her influence comes from like making
posting pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I kind of agree too. But I also think like, with all due respect, a lot of women that post on social media kind of conflate their influence because I think it's like one thing we were talking about.
Yeah,
You're right. She did an on the radar. She did an on the radar
41K
freestyle. This is probably somewhere around the time that she was beefing with Ice Spice. She had a song
from the block, 20K. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like
200K. Yeah, so it was around similar times, 2 months ago. This is a little longer ago from the block.
that's audio. I mean, audio dude.
Yeah. Let me go to her channel because
audio do
before I start wilding. Before I start wilding out.
Audio do less than videos.
Before I start wilding out. Okay.
I mean, 122K.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
She
That's
got
what I'm saying. Like
200K. Like, so I don't think. Yeah, but here's the thing.
I'm not saying like she couldn't have grown for it. I'm just saying like organically, you already have a system that seems to be working. You could have just did it within yourself and just
I agree with that.
organically got fans that genuinely rock with you, not because they saw you at Ice Spice's thing. Because I don't think that was the situation for her. Like if you want to go on stage with an artist, cool. Go do it with somebody that more fits your sound.
But I think the most artists, the way they grow is by doing that method.
Yeah, but I think a lot of artists also do it with artists that complements their sound, and the fan bases will somewhat connect and intersect.
Some people mix. Do you think
like Drake when A$AP Rocky and K-Dot and them tour with bro? For me, they already had like the similar fan base. Drake was trying to get that more hip hoppy, more urban fan base from them, and they was trying to get the more mainstream fan base off of him. So it worked. It intersected at a perfect
at this point, I mean, it's CLEOTRAPA, all due respect, and she's in a position to be picking and choosing who.
No, she's not. Well, I mean so. Yeah, yes, she is. Yes, she is.
And I agree. So I said it to say, like, what better opportunity would she have? And like, she plugged in with Ice Spice to go listen to go use this audience to possibly generate something. Now, whether she did or didn't generate anything, that's on her.
Yeah.
But I say, like, what other opportunity would she have had?
I mean, I'm not too familiar with her associates or whatever, but you know what I'm saying? Like, even just like maybe going to the studio with Ice Spice or something.
I say it's an opportunity, but it's an opportunity
that would better fit her.
Possibly, but at the end of the day, I think sometimes, particularly as an artist, nowadays, you gotta take it as an opportunity. But I think she also probably didn't run with it like how she could have ran with it, because I think she could have been easily. I mean, and that's not for me to know. I think I heard about her resurfacing honestly through her doing a 10-part TikTok series about how she didn't like tour with Ice Spice. Instead of doing a TikTok series, here's a day with me. I know Megan Thee Stallion, when she was going on tour, she was doing hey, y'all, this is what I did on a day of tour, and da-da-da-da. And like, she was using her social media for that opportunity.
I think she was doing that too.
Was he?
Until it went sour.
It's possible. It's possible. I don't follow her deep enough to know.
Yeah, I don't either. So like, I'm really just speaking from over the fence. But like, I think she was. I don't think she only spoke out when it went sour. I think she was.
It's very possible.
Video. I think her and Ice Spice were even filming TikToks out there.
It's very possible. This is September. So this is what, July? Okay, so this is the parts. Yeah, obviously those got more juice than anything else because people love drama. So prior to that, okay, she got a little video. But here's the thing. She had a little video of her performing on the tour. And see, but here you go. You got people that's talking about in their comments, you need your own store. Your stage performance is fire. The way you clocked it during the tour. Stage presence.
You mean?
But that's the thing. Her getting in front of this bigger audience.
I'm not
and then even the visual of her getting in front of the audience, and that's Ice Spice audience, and that joint look look like the people came there for her.
Yeah. I'm not denying it. I just think if she was going to complain about it the way she did and the way that everything turned out, in hindsight, you probably should have just chose a different artist or a different opportunity.
Oh yeah, definitely.
If you were going to complain about the things that you complained about, and you like the things that were a problem were going to be a problem, you should have kind of just looked at it a little differently and be like, maybe we can just get it. Like maybe we can just go to the studio together or something like that, and I just meet people with you or something like that. Because I don't know, like if you're not signed and you're going on tour with this artist that's signed, you're not going to receive the same treatment just off of like first glance. I think a lot of stuff got a little conflated and a little difficult because they were also friends.
Yeah.
So it was like missing business with family.
Yeah.
Kind of got a little tricky.
Yeah. And I think that was probably.
So that's
like,
kind of more so why I said I just think like
Yeah, I think
for
operational
personal situation, it might not have been the best situation for her.
Nah, facts. I was trying to check to see if I saw most shows that was trending, but I'm going to transition into what would you do?
What would you do?
Dang. What would you do if you had a friend that confessed to a serious crime that they hadn't been caught for? Well, I think my first thing would be like, how would I know this is like true or not?
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't even want to know that.
No, yeah, like, but keep
Like,
that to yourself.
First, yeah, that's what I'm saying. First thought is probably like I'm gonna just be like, bro.
Like, what if you found out your friend was Tim Buddy? Like,
Probably not. Probably just like have to distance myself a little.
Nah,
bit.
yeah, I gotta get out of there.
I don't know because
that's what my mind thinks of when I think of like some serious crime, like,
yeah,
or like you robbed a crazy bank. It's like, yo, what? You told me this. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I just watched the other day? And like, I finally watched. I don't know why the name just left my brain, but Christian Bale movie, the
American Sociopath.
yes, American Psychopath.
Yeah, Psychopath.
Yeah, like, and there's a portion in the movie. Well, I can't believe I went all this time without watching it, but there's a portion in the movie where he actually like just goes and confesses to like one of his coworkers, like all the stuff that he's been doing. The bro's like, nah. He like, what if it goes like that, bro?
That's what I'm saying. Cause like first glance, you're probably not gonna believe it, and then it's also just like, why did you tell me?
No, yeah.
So I feel like that's not one of them things where it's just off rip. You just like, I don't know. Like I feel like you really got to sit with that low key. You got to be like, bro, what? Like, why did you tell me? And then how do I know you not lying? And it's just like there's a bunch of things you have to go through.
No,
I
yeah.
feel like more so than anything, I would just be stuck in it all for real, for a couple of days or whatever. Probably, yeah, probably.
Probably so, yeah. I think I would just be trying to like garner or not, like how factual this is, and then like you gotta kind of sit in like, yo, where do like, because at the end of the day, it's all about like the betterment of society, bro. So if you're like befriending like a serial killer, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, your friendship is cool, but like, you know, at this point, if they did that derailed, who's to say that you aren't next or your loved ones aren't
Exactly.
next? So you got to think about it like that, like.
It kind of reminds me to like what's that show that has Buddy from Saturday Night Live, Barry. Where Barry, I think there was a scene where Barry had told one of his close associates or somebody that he worked with, one of his friends, that he was murdering people or whatever. And they were in the car, and he was like, "Why did you tell me this?" Or he was like, well, yeah, why'd you tell me? And then, like, I think Barry killed him, like, very shortly after because he got the notion that he was going to tell because how he reacted. And it's just like, that's also what I'm
Right,
thinking. It's like,
right. Yeah, you can't, like, freak out.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Because you might allow brother relapse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, if you ain't got caught and you told me, why did you?
What does it mean?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did you tell me? That's more so what I'm like, why did you tell me?
Nah, yeah, what are you trying to do?
Exactly.
Nah, yeah, that's crazy. And then I got another one. If your partner wanted to move to another city for their career and you didn't want to, how would you negotiate that discussion?
That's funny. It reminds me of the movie 5-Year Engagement, where they like kept going back and forth. They were moving over because one person had a job and the other person had a job. They just kept like putting off life. I mean, if it was like plausible for me to like actually get work and everything out there, and if it made sense enough, like I mean,
Yeah.
it'd be okay.
Like,
If it like, because at the end of the day, like me being selfish just because I don't want to move,
yeah.
rather than like bettering the quality of our life is.
That's true, too.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I guess it would just determine, like, I guess the relationship and where. I think
Yeah.
would be the biggest thing.
I think
because
if it's like, I mean, like you got a job and like no, that's crazy. I can't say that. if you got a job and like
I say a small hillbilly town.
yeah, you know what I'm saying, something like that. Like I might be a little opposed to it, or like you get a job
Or
in
like a crazy expensive city.
yeah, or like treat me. She get a job offer in like Gaza. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
there's a insane amount of political climate going on.
Yeah.
Like, somewhere where there's like, you know what I'm saying? Somewhere there's like a bunch of climatic issues going on right now. Then I'll be like, okay, maybe we got to discuss this a little bit different. You know what I mean? But if it's, you know.
Yeah, if it was like I'm in like an alright city right now, I'm going to another alright city, I wouldn't like be too opposed to it. So yeah, I think it would be determined on where and like, and I would think also like how does this further benefit your career? Because like let's just say, like if my girl's like in the fashion, like it's like okay, you got an opportunity in New York,
Right.
like yeah, like our cost of living might go up, but
In the fashion mecca.
But you know what I'm saying, you're in the Mecca versus like okay, you in fashion, but you just go into like I said a small country town, be like, that don't even, because if you lose this job or you leave this job, you don't like the job, then we out here.
It would really have to make sense to me.
Yeah, I think so. But I would hear it out for sure.
Yeah, because I think like at some point, like even just looking at mom and dad, like I feel like you have to.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be somewhere that you might not want to.
Yeah.
And that just goes back into like, bro, you're not gonna be ready for anything that you have never experienced. So you just gotta kind of like.
You kind of gotta do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not as true that you go through different phases of life. You gotta kind of just see stuff through. All right, I'm gonna slither into the think space and hot take haven. That just okay. What does success mean to you personally, and has that definition evolved over time? I can answer to say, I honestly, I don't think it has. I think there's probably a fluctuation, and when like I had an idea of okay, if I just can have a well-paying job and I have people around me that care about me, and like I'll be cool with that. Yeah. But then I think there was probably a portion when you actually start getting into it, that you actually start getting into life. You're like, oh shoot, I actually want to try this and do this and do this. Mm-hmm. So you might have a different perception slightly of it. It's similar, I think, to like when you get to college or something like that, or you're like, oh, I want to go there and take this opportunity to like meet a lot of people and learn this and this, and you get there and you're like, okay, I want to actually, now that I'm here, I want to like enjoy partying and stuff like that. But then you're like, okay, it's not what this is about. Yeah. So I think it's partially a part of that too. When you're young, you probably have an idea of, oh, as long as I can just make my own money and just do this, I'm cool. Mm-hmm. But then when you get into it and you start making some money, you're like, oh man, I want to try this.
I think I agree with you. I don't think my definition of success has evolved for real. I think it's pretty much primarily been the same, like being financially stable, being able to kind of do what I want to do while still having everything that I need / want at that given point in time. But I think it's became a little bit more personal over time. Like I don't equate success with what the general idea of success is, and I think it's become more of a personal definition to me. I think it's more so like of what I genuinely see for myself or what I actually want, and it kind of have attached it a little bit more to like my quality of life over time. But I think it's still like generally the same.
Yeah, I probably have to agree in that sense. I think a lot of it has grown to just, if I could say it's grown any, it's just I probably just added more elements of like I said, like personal development and things like that. I would say. What does it mean to be a good citizen in today's world?
Well, to be a good citizen, it means to be, I guess, law-abiding. Yeah. But, I mean,
I think you have to be law-abiding, and you have to be at a point where you're looking out for the greater good of the man.
Exactly.
And so you're doing a lot that I think on your day-to-day where you're probably considerate of somebody else. Like, you go to the gym, you wipe down your equipment. You are out in public. You don't just throw stuff on the street. You put it in the trash can.
Yeah, you have a certain level of empathy for
I think so. I think that's how a lot of people base it. I think nowadays it's getting to a point, too, where you have to, like, let everybody do their own thing because, I mean, I was listening to a podcast the other day where, like, these women were up there bragging about how much money they made off of, like, OnlyFans or whatever. And so somebody basically was like, okay, and they asked them, would you ask your kids to do it? And they're like, no. And so the guy basically called them the P word. I don't know if I can say it on YouTube, but it was basically saying they're prostitutes.
Oh.
And then they were like, no, they're not. And then the whole panel got like the defensive about it and was like, that's not fair. You can't call them that.
Why not?
And he was like, yeah, what? I'm not doing it to hurt them. I'm just calling them what they are. Y'all even just said y'all wouldn't do this job, or you wouldn't tell your children to do it. Mm-hmm. So it's just like that. And then I've seen instances where I think I just saw a clip about it the other day. I meant to send it to the chat, but it was basically a girl was talking about how there needs to be love and there shouldn't be the physical abuse. I don't know if that the word is right, but anyways, in a relationship, I say in a relationship, and so the one girl was like, oh yeah, da 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 da, because me and my ex, we got into it and I broke his nose when we were arguing, but then he did something that gave her hit her back, I think, and she ended up like having to go to the hospital because she had a concussion or whatever. And the girl was like, "Wow, that's so crazy that happened to you," and was kind of like going off. And they were like, "Okay, wait." But then weren't you just talking about?
He broke his nose.
Yeah, like, and shorty, you were, and the girl that was in the very beginning talking about how there shouldn't be SA in a relationship was kind of like leaning towards her. And she was like, "Okay, but what did he do? What did he do?" And it was like, shorty, weren't you just saying there shouldn't be any anyways? Why are you excusing what she did? And I said that to say, I think a lot of people want to kind of live above reproach in some sense. Yeah. So I think being a good person to a lot of people is allowing people to do whatever they want to do, which I think is subjective a little bit there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I definitely would say kind of just more so following lines of being a good law-abiding citizen and being respectful of the next man.
Yeah, I agree with you. People take that being respectful of the next man a little too far, whereas they'll give them the full respect and I guess like full authority to do whatever they want.
No, facts.
But I mean that in that same breath, you can't be operating for the greater good of your community.
Nah, yeah, because in some sense you're destructive. It's just like we said. Like I mean, even allowing the sex workers to be like running rampant. In some sense, you are leading to the destruction of the community.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So. What is one thing you believe strongly in that most people might disagree with? Man, I have so many hot takes, but I top of my head, I can't think.
That chickens aren't real.
Why is that?
Because chickens they don't occur in the wild.
Right.
Like chickens, modern day chickens are a distant, I wouldn't say super distant, but somewhat close relative of guinea fowl, which you can find in the wild, and you can find places. But I feel like chicken is like
they're kind of a
man-made
manufacturer.
You know what I'm saying? A man-made product just for us to get insane amount of eggs in chicken.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And I probably would assume like, I mean, obviously we have the Angus industry and Angus farming, but obviously like there's a portion of beef cattle and everything that are manufactured and everything as well. I feel like that about a lot of farm animals.
Yeah, you're probably right. I can probably agree with that.
I think like chickens, because you got to think about it, bro. Like, think about you get a 10-piece of wings. Think about how many chickens had to die for you to just get 10 piece.
No, you're right. You're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that's
OD.
if it's all wings, that's 5 chicken.
Yeah.
If it's all wings.
No, you're right.
If you get a mix of flats and drumsticks and everything, the number can go up. You know what I'm saying? But that's just a little 10 piece, bro. And that's 5 chickens. So like, I don't think for them to be occurring naturally in the wild, that we would have enough to eat for us to eat them at the rate we do. Because imagine like just a Chick-fil-A, bro. We probably go through like 100,000 chicken a day.
No, you're right. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like,
they mass producing.
Exactly. So I think a great portion of them at least has to be manufactured, if not majority of them. Just like, feel me, bananas. Like we was ODing on bananas back in the day, so we had to genetically modify and reproduce them. Yeah, I feel like chicken are fake-ish. I feel like all pigeon that you see are not real pigeons. Some of them are manufactured. Yeah. And flies.
I was trying to scroll through some of my commentary on Twitter to see, because I've been going at it with a lot of people now on Twitter. But first thing that comes to mind is I think we gotta have an opportunity to like voice our opinion on what people are doing. Like I think a lot of people will be like, oh, just let them do what they did. Like what I was just saying, a lot of people be like, let them do what they do. No, some people you just gotta call them out. Stop.
Yeah.
Like I seen some joint where like a lot of like, for example, there's a lot of like women that take pictures and like certain outfits sometimes, and I was like, bro, I seen the post, and I was like, why are you wearing this to a restaurant? So it was like, yeah, I'm the finest thing in the restaurant. I was like, but why are you wearing this? And it was like a whole like lace suit, and then like it was like, so it was a whole see-through suit basically, and all you could see was a bra and like her panties. It was like, but why did you wear that?
I feel like I had a conversation about this with Mom the other day. I was just like, some things like I'm all for me expressing yourself and wearing what you want to wear, but some things we just like we have to be like, bro, come on, like I think like it's not even like I think, and again like it's culture and it's a lot of things that we perpetuate that are okay. But like I feel like at a certain point, because it's not just women, it's on dudes side too. It's like we all wear insane stuff, and it's just like sometimes you gotta look at yourself and be like, bro, what am I wearing? Like this is actually insane. Like
it's crazy. I
don't have on any clothes. Like sometimes you gotta just be like, but this is crazy, and just put on a little bit more clothes. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I think. It goes both ways, hand in hand.
I feel like I don't know, like at the root, like, bro, you cannot be outside naked. So why are you trying to get as close as you possibly can? You know that you can't be outside naked. So why are you trying to get as close as you can to being that? While saying, I got on clothes though. But it's okay. Just put on some clothes.
I think that because I think like there's gonna be a bunch of direct repercussions of us just letting people do whatever they want to do. So like, I think negatively, like, just not even just like in that regard. But I mean, let's just say in that regard. I mean, at a certain point, how far can it get? Cause
exactly.
If we letting that slide, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna want to up the ante, and like even the old BBL epidemic, like we allowing people to do that left and right. Just do it because it makes them feel good.
Okay, but then like, what about people that die doing it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So it's like, well, how much we push that, and then, I mean, that's my next thing is that typically most people that do stuff like that, they have obviously some type of mental deficiency, or they're leaning on something so badly because you would put your own life in line for that.
I feel like getting under the knife for anything you don't have to is crazy in general.
And most people they never stop.
Yeah, because you're never gonna be perfect enough.
No,
you're never gonna. It never stops.
So I think that's the biggest thing I have to say. I'm gonna keep it there. I got another topic, but I'm gonna say that one. I can get into it actually. Is forgiveness a moral duty or a religious construct?
It's a moral duty. I mean, it's both.
I think it is. I think it's a lot of it because I mean a lot of where society is today. We base that from a lot of religious context. Mm-hmm. So I think, I mean, like I said, it's all based on who you ask. Because some people would say, "Oh, I don't think I should forgive anybody that did that to me." But I think you shouldn't walk around with like some type of hate harbored in your heart.
And I think even the people that would say that know that they're lying to themselves.
No, yeah.
Like, I think even morally, like you forgive yourself every day. So I think you have to, like, even if it's not a religious construct, you have to. At a moral level, you have to forgive yourself or forgive people because you can't walk through life like that. You just can't.
Because like I said, there's going to be plenty of instances. You have to interact with other people. So, but there's going to be instances you walk right out the door and let's just say somebody's blocking your car in. Or you're going to be like mad at them forever.
Yeah.
Because I didn't forgive them. So I'm going to be mad they blocked my car in. And then you start driving. Somebody cut you off in traffic. I'm going to be mad at the next person that cut me off in traffic forever. And like, so it's going to be like you said, a compounding effect of all day long. There's going to be other things where you're interacting with other people. And if you feel like it's not your obligation to forgive people. Like a lot of people will say, I don't forget and I forget. And yeah, you can remember certain things, but I think people kind of use that as a kind of escape to similarly just try and not forget that or not forgive. I'm not going to forgive that person. Okay, well, sure, but.
Just because somebody cut you off, forgiving and not forgetting is, for me, okay, this time I'm gonna drive a little bit more cautious.
No, yeah.
That's what that is. It's not, it better not cut me off.
Yeah.
That's not the same thing. I mean, you still holding that grudge.
And that's what I said. You didn't really do any growth there.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's even something I would say a lot of people do in relationships. It's like, you know, like they'd be like, oh, like I'd probably say like for me, I know. I mean, obviously, I think we're probably of that age where it's a popular thing. I think in your 20s it's popular, but like people that into like the astrology signs, and they're like, oh, I would disqualify somebody based on their astrology sign. Oh yeah, I had a bad experience with somebody who was a Leo, so now since you're a Leo, you don't make the cut.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, that's insane work.
We're all individuals.
Yeah, so it's like I feel like at that certain point you just like that's the same line because I had this bad experience, so I now will ostracize everybody else who falls in that same category. Yeah, I don't think you can live life like that.
Nah.
But yeah, as we head into the end, I definitely can say I'm adding a couple more things to watch to my list, so I will probably have some updates.
Yeah.
Next time we'll see what life shakes out to. We're gonna try to, like I said, get more content out.
Let me see. I haven't watched Joker yet. I went and saw Venom not too long ago. I saw Transformers 1.
I didn't get to see Transformers 1.
Transformers 1 is fire.
I gotta see.
It's fire, bro. I'm telling people, you got to get out and see that one. Venom, I know it's receiving a lot of backlash. I kind of went in there with an open mind, so like I really didn't have that bad of a time. I thought it was an enjoyable movie. I think they could have done a better job foreshadowing certain things, but I think also like just within the scape that Marvel is in, like they kind of got to leave a lot of stuff up for interpretation because they don't really know for sure how things are gonna go.
Yeah, and that's the biggest discrepancies that I have is that they've been kind of going at things with like such an open book. They're all supposed to be doing a Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah.
So I'm actually interested in that because, I mean, if you know me, I think Harry Potter probably has the greatest multitude of movies ever. I tried to start watching some of the like Star Wars and the Lord of the Rings. I got pretty deep into Star Wars. So I understand a lot now. Shout out to Lethal Shooter.
I understand it now.
But I mean, I do like the Mission Impossible series too.
Yeah, it's fire.
But Harry Potter is one of them ones. So I'm interested to see how they're going to follow up the TV show.
Percy Jackson season 2.
Right. I saw the first season.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was. I like the way they did it.
I wish they would have made him a little older, but
Right.
okay.
I think they're supposed to be coming out Wednesday. Another Wednesday.
Yeah.
Season 2. The first Wednesday season was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. What's the other show? You was supposed to be filming again as well. I don't care what people say. That's my show.
I haven't caught anything like past the third season.
Well, yeah, I think the fourth season is what they. Oh, you didn't see the third season?
No.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think like first 2 is where I conked out of that.
I
heard it's good though.
Third season was fire.
I know Dexter came back not too long ago.
All right. Dexter's been in my list. I haven't been able to get too deep into it.
I watched the OG episode. I don't think I saw any of the new ones.
That and
I want to watch Barry too and Sopranos.
Okay. Yeah, Sopranos on my list.
I ain't gonna lie. I got a lot of shows I need to watch, but it's just hard to get the time.
Yeah, it's life. But yeah, I mean, I'll have some other days. I'm trying to catch Venom and Transformers 1. Yeah, I did see Joker 2.
Yeah,
I think it got a lot of unnecessary bash. I just saw just now somebody was talking about the Red One movie from The Rock, and they were like, "Oh, this another flop from The Rock." I think the whole movie industry as a whole is just gonna have to start doing transitioning because since digital streaming services are so like popular now that it's just gonna be too tough.
Yeah,
I think for like traditional movies to have big blockbuster entries in the theaters because since a lot of people have started to lean towards streaming sites.
Yeah. And I mean, let's be honest, they're not really blockbuster movies. Like every movie is not a blockbuster movie. Every movie is not a box office success, just like it wasn't back then.
Yeah,
I think we're just not because the movie theaters are kind of recouping and kind of bouncing back from the pandemic and everything. We're not seeing as much promotion as we normally do, but like the blockbuster films, you can tell when the blockbuster films come around because the promo runs are crazy, and they, they do what they do in the theaters. Like Barbie did what it did in the theaters last year. Oppenheimer did what it did in theaters.
Yeah.
The blockbuster hits are still hitting. It's just we're not getting enough collaborative efforts to make more of those projects. I would say.
Yeah, I'll probably say something similar. I think I was talking to a guy the other day, and he was talking about how the experience is different too.
Yeah,
because it used to be a thing where like getting to the movies was like a big deal, and I can agree to that. I mean, it was like, oh man, let's get ready, let's get our snacks together, and like we're excited for this big movie. But now it's just like, oh yeah, go to the movie, yeah, whatever.
I'm gonna be honest though. I think also, and this is like, I think this is any industry. And honestly, they keep shooting themselves in the foot by like inconveniencing the consumer.
Yeah.
So like movies, theaters. I remember like it used to be you could go to the movies. We used to go to the what $1.50 movie on Blue Ridge or whatever. And that was an affordable experience for me. Everybody in the family could go to the movies for like $10.
Yeah, and that was a draw.
You know what I'm saying?
Like, this is a special day to go to the movies.
Exactly. Now it's like you did away with those movie theaters. So now at no point can you come to the movie theater at a discounted rate if you don't go on a matinee day.
No.
And the tickets are no less than $13, $20 for some of the theaters. And then not to mention the popcorn is $10. Everything else is over $6. Even just the box of candy. So it's like, bro, it's a hassle. And you're telling me now the movies, I can stream it.
Yeah.
So I can just watch it at home.
Whenever I want to.
Pay for the snacks at a cheap rate. They have projectors. I'm not going to lie. They shot themselves in the foot by overcharging on everything. Because now there's nothing the experience isn't worth the price now.
Yeah, and I think also COVID had a hand to do with that too, because that's when a lot of people started realizing how easy it was to really just watch things at home and at your own timing. You could pause, play, come back to it whenever you want to, turn your subtitles on, whatever the case may be. And versus, like I said, the experience changing during COVID to going to the movie theaters. So I think, a lot of the industry, like you said, not even just the movies, but a lot of industries definitely hurt themselves. And I think I was surprised thinking like, okay, once movie theaters are opening, they were going to be doing something big again to, I guess, reward the experience. But no, they right back to
they didn't even like really. Most movie theaters like they whispered that they were open. Yeah. So I think like I don't know. I think they got to do something like you said to really change the experience because
like
it's not worth it now.
No.
I just go because I like the movie theaters.
No,
You know what I'm saying? But like, if I didn't like movie theaters the way I did and like the movies, I wouldn't go.
I think that's what it is too. A lot of the movies now have to like draw me to the theaters.
Yeah.
Like if not, I'm like, I'll just wait a couple months to catch it. So I think that's what it is too. Like a lot of these movies got to like you said, a lot of these movies like they're not like. What it was like a cool thing where you could go on like a weekend and just let me just check what's in there, what's going on. Now a lot of movies I'm like,
ain't nothing hitting in there.
Nah. So,
and the ones that, if it's not like a insane blockbuster success, it's going to be in there for like a week and a half.
No,
They have no.
Like I said, there's not many like. I remember going to go see Get Out because I was like, what is this? Like, what is this movie about? What's going on? It was completely different. It was new to the genre, so the Jordan Peele did that a lot with, I think, a lot of his movies. And most of these new movies are just manufacturing the exact same movie.
Yeah. I think Get Out was like the last time I saw a movie, and I was actually genuinely surprised. Like, it didn't conform to a lot of cliches.
Yeah.
That was the first time I was actually surprised in a movie.
No, yep. Yeah. We'll keep it. We're gonna keep it in lock to the next episode. To the crew.
Peace.